Let's talk about null safety. In Kotlin, we can declare a property as nullable or non-nullable. For a nullable property, we should add question symbol after a data type. Let's see the sample code. The data1 property is declared as non-nullable. So if we try to assign null to the property, we'll get an error like this. And this data2 property has question symbol after its data type, which make it nullable. So we can assign null to the property. As we talked, nullable properties can have null, and apparently it may cause the null point exception at some point. As you can see in the sample code, data1 is nullable, and we try to get its length and set the value to the int type property. Because we assign the string value and try to get just its length, you probably think it's okay. However, it'll get a compiling error, because Kotlin is very strict about null properties. Kotlin will give an error to a null property regardless its value, except using the null safety operator. So when we use null properties, we should use the null safety operator. This null safety operator will return the property's value if it's not null, and it'll return null if the property's value is null. So Kotlin forces us to use a null safety operator to avoid any possibilities of null pointer exception on even the compiling step. When we use the null safety operator, if we have some operations for non-null case, not just returning the value, we can use the let operator. Let's test it out. Let's add the property as nullable. And let's initialize it with the string value. Let's try to get the length of the property. Like we talked, we got an error. Because the property is nullable, we'll get an error whether or not its value is null. That means Kotlin asks us to use the null safety operator whenever we handle null properties. So we should use the null safety operator, which is we should add a question symbol before the dot. Oh, then why do we still have an error? It's because even we use the null safety operator, it might return null if the data property is null. That being said, this int type property should be declared as nullable too. The error is gone now. So this null safety operator will return null if the data property is null. Otherwise, it will return the data property's length. There is another null safety operator called Elvis operator. The Elvis operator is question symbol with colon. And we can set a certain operation in case of null. Meaning that if the nullable property is null, the right side of Elvis operator will return. Let's see this sample code. This sample code means that if the data property is not null, it will return the property's length. And if the property is null, it will return this -1. Next, in some case, we should throw the null pointer exception. So we have that operator too. And it'll return null pointer exception when the value is null. As you can see in the sample code, we can add the double exclamations before dot. Next, let's see null safe casting. We can use as with question symbol operator for null safe casting, which will return null instead of cast exception if the cast is not successful. As you can see in the second line, we can't cast this string type property to the int type. So this will return null instead of cast exception. This is it for null safety.